Four-part harmony is a system of writing music that developed over centuries. This system provides us with a set of conventions that can be used to organize chords into four voices: soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. In this video, we will look at how we arrange four-part harmony on the stave and explore how we turn three-note triads into four-part chords. Four-part harmony is written on a grand stave, a treble clef stave and a bass clef stave joined together with a bracket. The highest voice is called the soprano voice, and these notes are written with their stems pointing upwards. The alto voice is also written on the treble stave, but this voice's stems point downwards. The tenor voice is written on the bass clef stave with its stems pointing upwards, while the lowest voice, the bass, is written on the bass clef stave with its stems pointing downwards. Four-part harmony consists of two important elements. If we look at this music horizontally, we can see the melodic element of the music. But if we look at the music vertically, we can see the harmonic element of the music. Much of the art of writing four-part harmony lies in finding a balance between these two elements. In the previous video, we learnt that the triads built on the tonic, subdominant, and dominant notes of the scale are called primary triads. In order to convert primary triads into four-part chords, we need to double the root note. Triads built on the supertonic, mediant, submediant, and leading notes are secondary triads, and in these we double the third of the triad. Let's look at a practical example of how to write out a four-part chord. Here we are asked to write a subdominant chord in A major. The first thing we need to do is add the appropriate key signature before we even think about writing the chord. Now we can work out that the fourth degree of the A major scale is D, then build a triad on this note. We must now ask ourselves whether this is a primary or a secondary chord. Once we have recalled that a subdominant triad is a primary chord, we can double the root note of the chord. The root note needs to be written in the bass voice, as this chord is in root position, not an inversion. But we can write the other notes in any of the voices, so long as there is no more than an octave between the tenor and alto voices and the alto and soprano voices. The tenor voice can be up to a tenth higher than the bass voice. The chord could be written in a variety of ways. We would decide on the order and position of our notes by considering the melodic element or voice leading of our music. But when writing these chords in isolation, we can place each note in any voice so long as the gaps between the notes are not too big. In this example, we are asked to write a mediant chord in D minor. Again, we begin by adding the correct key signature, then asking ourselves which note is the third degree of the D minor scale. Remember that we need to use the harmonic minor scale when writing harmony and must remember to raise the seventh degree of the scale. Now we need to remember to double the third of the triad because this is a secondary chord. After placing the root note in the bass voice, we can place the remaining notes of the chord in any of the other voices, so long as we have no more than an octave between the tenor and alto and soprano voices, and no more than a tenth between our bass and tenor voices. Again, this chord can take on a variety of forms, so long as the chord contains the right notes, the correct note is doubled, and the gaps between each voice is not too big.